Alright, so we are going to try to get this welded this morning, and I took this all out, so this is a top side. I'm actually, well, yeah, we're going to weld that to that. And I actually held off on the blow-off valve because I was doing more research, and some people say that you want it near the throttle body like that. Other people say you want it over here near the supercharger. People are back and forth, so I'm pretty sure we're going to run duals. That way the supercharger is protected, and they say you want to dump the air. You want to dump the air, the hot air basically, so when it comes out of the supercharger it's hot, and there's no reason to let it go through the intercooler and dump it in front of the throttle body, because then you're just dumping off air you already cooled and you're heat soaking your intercooler. So they say to put the blow-off valve by the supercharger, protect the supercharger, and that way you're dumping hot air so that you're not heat soaking the intercooler for no reason, you know, with air that's already going to get dumped in the atmosphere. There's no reason to make the intercooler work, cool the air, and then just throw it in the atmosphere. So a couple other guys were running dual blow-off valves, which I have two race Procharger blow-off valves, and they were putting them on near the throttle body and the supercharger just so you're double protected. You know, the only downside to that is that some people talk crap and say that you don't need them, that you don't make enough horsepower or enough boost to have to. But it's kind of more of a backup thing. Like me and Mike were talking about this morning, is you hear people at the track where they're like, you know, my blow-off valve failed or it didn't open or whatever. Well, if you have two on there, then if one don't open, you always got a second one that's going to protect you, you know, from doing any damage. So we might just go ahead and run duals, but I'm going to probably message TKM today and my Procharger dealer and just double check with both of them, get their opinion before we cut any holes in this pipe. So Mike's going to get this welded up. I'm going to hold it for him. I did have a gap that I found on the back side. This was the top when it was in there, and whenever I went to pick it up this morning or try to get it out of the car, I heard tape squishing, and I was like, what? I was like, how? So I looked right here, and I actually do have a gap. You can see. So Mike says it's not going to be a problem, but I'm going to have to put the camera down and hold this where the tape is stretched like it was in the car, so he can put a bridge across his gap to hold it in the exact spot. And then when I took it out the car, I seen that we have another gap that's going to be in the pipe. You can see it down there where the tape's kind of shining through, but right there. So hopefully nothing too amazing, or too bad. He can stitch them up. So let's get this welded up. All right, so welcome back this afternoon. It is, let's see here, where are we at? I lose count. Thursday afternoon, or I lose track. So a couple things. As you seen in the last video, we did the cold side. Mike got that welded up today, and not welded up, he got it tacked because we're still you know, finalizing everything. So got the cold side in. Overall, I'm happy with it, besides the fitment on the rubber boot side. So down here on the bottom on the rubber boot, it's off a touch. Let me show you. So you can kind of see, you know, right here versus here. Basically, this pipe is more over this way than that. So it's definitely not perfectly in line, but I mean, it clamps. You know, you got enough meat on each side of rubber boot. Clamps nice and tight, so it works. I'm just being picky. You know, I showed you the little gaps in there. I wasn't happy with that, but Mike can weld all that up. He said it's not going to be a problem. But, you know, I mean, that's my first intercooler piping. I've never done intercooler piping. So, you know, if I knew how to weld and I had a bandsaw and, you know, I took a little bit more time, I could definitely make something beautiful. But this is the first one. This was a cheaper kit. I don't want to get crazy with this kit, you know, just in case like something happens, like it explodes. You know, maybe the wall thickness is cheap or the pipe is cheap and it explodes, and we put all this time into something that completely has to be remade. Basically, all I'm trying to do is on a budget, get this car up and running, and then as we find weaknesses and places that can be improved, just like everybody else, you know, we'll go through and improve that stuff and upgrade that stuff. So these are excellent practice pieces. They do look good. I'm happy with them. I'm happy how it turned out. I'm not ashamed or embarrassed to pop the hood at the track. So that's what we're rocking with right now, and that's how it's going to stay. So we're perfectly fine with that. We'll try to work on the race trailer this weekend and show y'all that, and introduce you to the race trailer and go over all that. That's the goals. I bought the skins for the trailer last weekend actually. So you know, and I got a hectic schedule for the next 7 days. Randy's supposed to be picking up his Mustang either tonight, I think it was, or possibly Friday night. I think it might be Friday night, actually. Sunday, we may be doing final assembly on Randy's Mustang. John and them have to do their thing, a bunch of other stuff next week. He has to drop it off at another guy on Monday, like do brakes. I'm not doing all that. Like, I do my own stuff, but he has other friends that are doing all that, and I'm totally cool with that. I have enough on my plate already. But I'm gonna do, just as talked about, all the final assembly, make sure everything looks right, make sure all the gaps are right, make sure everything functions as it's supposed to, doors open and closes, deck lids open and close, front end, you know, comes on and off smoothly, hopefully. I think me and Randy are gonna be left putting rivets in all the pieces, or not rivets, Zeus fasteners, riveting them in. Originally he had somebody else who was gonna do all that, but I think me and him are gonna end up doing all the Zeus fasteners. We got to put glass in a door. I got to paint his trim pieces either tomorrow or Sunday morning for the back quarter panel down here on the Mustangs. You have, you know, moldings. Let's see here. We have to put his windshield in, his rear windshield, clean everything, put the seat back in. You know, we got to do all that stuff. So final assembly on Randy's Mustang, possibly Sunday. If not, it will be sometime next week at night. I'll have to just cram it in. Y'all will see all of that video. I'll take a ton of content for y'all. I feel like I'm better now at YouTube than I was whenever we first started Randy's car, so I'm gonna make sure I give y'all everything I can. And then his goal, as of right now, from what I'm hearing, is we are still supposed to make woo stock in Darlington, not this weekend, but next weekend. So if you're near Darlington, I believe as of right now, they've been talking about testing on Friday, testing all day Friday, and actually racing on Saturday if everything goes as planned and smooth. So I'm gonna make sure I'm down there on Friday, all day Friday, to get y'all some behind the scene footage. John kind of does the race stuff. That's cool. I'm not really interested in the A to Z pass so much as I'm interested in showing y'all the build process and the outcome, maybe some issues, maybe some behind the scenes shots, you know, maybe some, you know, pit area videos, stuff like that you don't see off of all the other channels, man. I mean, you can go to a million different channels and get woo stock coverage and see passes from, you know, the tree to the throwing the chutes. So I'm not really here. That's not what the channel I'm here to. The pass is kind of like the reward of all the work. I'm here to show you all the work on this channel. So that's the plans for next weekend. I'm guessing I'm getting possibly a hotel room in Darlington. You know, I probably could crash with John and them in an RV, but I'm a little bougie. I work way too hard all week, so I probably got to have me, you know, a nice hotel room with, you know, a continental breakfast and all that kind of stuff. It's just how I roll. So that's the plans for that. And then Saturday, help them, you know, all day with everything, anything they could possibly need with Randy, you know, and hopefully see some of y'all, meet some people. It's going to be a real big event. A lot going on over the next 7 days. And I'm going to still try to continue to get my car moving forward and the race trailer and all that, and bring y'all all the content. So bear with me. What I'm going to try to do tonight, first off, I'm going to try to clean up all this mess that I have tore apart. I need to get this the old intercooler piping down here to Mike. He's not working tomorrow. Y'all go to Mike's channel, Blanton Dynamics. Tell him to get to work, dude. He hasn't worked in 2 Fridays in I don't know how long. He's practically part-time. Go check out his channel and tell him that y'all would like for him to get to work and post some freaking videos for y'all. Because he's smart, man. He's got all kinds of stuff. We got some pieces in for the brake lines, so I'm gonna try to knock some stuff out on the brake lines tonight. I did a bunch of research today on the Procharger pulleys. I'm talking with a couple people about the Procharger pulleys. I mean, we're really moving forward. You know, and go from there. Next thing, the last video I said that we were gonna have to V-band this because I couldn't get it in this way. So this pipe will easily, you can position it in here, you could dive it down, hook it into there, and then swing it, hook it in there. So this one goes in and out easier. This one does not go in and out easy like that because of our water pump. We're not moving the water pump. I've already bought lines for it and everything. We're not moving water pump. So if anything, I would V-band it right there so it comes apart 2 parts like we talked about in the last video. Here's what I wasn't thinking. To get this piece in, you have to come from underneath here. basically hook it and then swing it in to the rubber coupling. I said that won't work because your fender will be there, be in the way. It has to go in this way. Not true. I stand corrected. And I did write it out in a subtitle in the last video and corrected myself. This pipe in right now, you go from here down and you dive it up like that. So therefore, it's not going to be an issue to put the piping on with the fender on. You just have to make sure you have your lower valence off. If you recall, the lower bumper valence on this one, the bottom big piece of mine is Zeus fastened on both sides with 2 Zeus fasteners. So it's quick and easy to come off. So we will not have to V-band that pipe. We will be able to keep it solid one piece. And to load this pipe in, worst case scenario is you might have to jack the car up so you can go up at an angle. You know where to take it out. Another area that I'm trying to figure out and I would like to make improvements. I went over this in one of my earlier videos, and it's been so long, a lot of y'all probably weren't even on the channel at that time. If you look back, all of my videos are organized by playlist first off. So if you're interested in a Comet build, you can go to the 74 Mercury Comet, and that playlist will play you every video that I have done of this car. You know, I have Turbo John stuff and Randy stuff all in one playlist. It's called the Turbo John Racing Crew or the Turbo John Crew, something like that. And then I have salvage title projects for everybody organized in a playlist. And I have random projects to help others organized in a playlist. So I have my stuff organized in a playlist. But I had built this piece. This is a piece of aluminum wrapped in some carbon, so I didn't have to paint it. It just saves on, you know, it getting scratched up. It's got some air bubbles in it. Not that big of a deal. You know, the inside's just spray paint. But I built this to go right here over. Let's see if I can just slip this on just to show y'all. Okay. There you go. So when it is on, it hugs this bar pretty tight. It's not done. I would like to get it, you know, it's going to get mounted more like that. But it hugs this bar pretty tight. Now we're going to put some foam in here so that it seals it off 100% to this bar. And then right here you have this jack bolt boxed in plate. So from here, you know, up is all solid. So nothing can get there. The only place that anything can get in, like I said, this right here, covered up my fingers, that's gonna be all blocked off with foam. So what I did that for was because when you're driving, you know, down the road, the street, the track, shut down, whatever, your tire's obviously slinging up rocks. Like this literally is perfect to sling rocks into the Procharger. Not good. I would have, if I could go back and redone this, I would have bought a Procharger that faced the other way, so the inlet was facing forward. And if I could have went back and done it, I would have spun it. And then like a couple of us were talking about in the comments, I could have took our inlet and 180'd it down, and dude literally come down at a 90 and then pretty much snaked it right in. It would have been freaking amazing. If I ever go with a bigger Procharger, I now know, and I'll never do that again, you know, but if we go bigger, we're probably gonna go crank drive. So with that said, as I built this little guard to keep rocks and debris and stuff out of this side of the Procharger. Now I've got to find something. I can't put a cone on there because I'm limited on space. So I can't really put, you know, some big cone, but I am going to try to find, you know, I think they make turbo guards and stuff that are basically like screens, and I can squeeze that on there, I think, with that. Or I might just go make my own turbo guard to make sure nothing basically goes in the propeller thing. I'm gonna get this clamp back on tonight. I actually brainstormed this a little bit more, and you know, I also thought about making a 2-piece, you know, so obviously this is half of it and it goes right here. So how about if I made another piece that come on this side, you know, and somehow was opened up. I don't know, because your headers are down there, you know, when they get in there. So there's gonna be some heat source down there. I mean, you still got all this fresh air right here, so it's not like it's a huge deal. It's just everybody knows that if we can get clean cold air to a turbo or a Procharger, then we're gonna be better than, you know, not getting cold air to it. So that's still in my mind, is trying to figure out something like that. When I built my down bars, let's see here, I did not have the Procharger bracket, I don't think. So we had never even mocked up Procharger. I had bought the Procharger, but not the bracket yet, and I just kind of guessed on my down bars. I didn't even think about a Procharger. And somehow, again, by luck, I just did miss it. So I just did have enough clearance for the Procharger, and I wasn't about to cut out the down bars because I'd already done all the, shock mounts and all that crap, and it was, but if I could go back and redone it, I would have took these bars, and these bars would have come forward like this, and they would have wrapped around and dived in, like that. So we're gonna put that together. We're gonna tidy up some brake line stuff, and we're just gonna check what other little tiny stuff I have over there, come through it, and we're probably gonna run the fuel system return. I don't know how much I can get done. If any of y'all are really smart with that stuff, a boost reference fuel pressure regulator for this style return fuel system, everything, if you wanna drop a link in the comments of what you would recommend, then I will look into it. I've been looking at them on eBay and everywhere else, and there's all kinds of different ones, and I just don't wanna mess up and get the wrong one. So I only wanna buy this once. I'm tired of buying stuff twice. The secondary fuel pump, I think I said in another video, I'm not too worried about it right now. I already have a part number and already know which one we're going with. But we don't need it to fire the car or to get the car running. So it's already plumbed for it. I can order a screw-on cap, just cap where the secondary goes off, and we can literally start the car and move forward. So it's like really on the back burner, the secondary pump, and I'm hoping something pops up used. So yeah, I think this video is gonna turn into a bunch of rambling. Just trying to catch y'all up to, to where we're at. So I think that's it for right now, where my brain's at. So I'm gonna dive in, try to get some stuff done, and if I get anything done, I'll either show you in this video, or if this video ends up too long, I'll catch you on the next one. All right, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share. I appreciate everything y'all are doing, all the comments, all the help, all the feedback, everything. So keep at it. I'll keep telling y'all everything I know and showing you everything I figure out as we go, and we'll learn this together. We'll make our first pass together, and hopefully we'll get our first win together. Thanks, y'all. All right, so if you held out this long and you didn't just exit out the video on the like, comment, subscribe, share part, and you actually watched my stuff to the end, I'm gonna throw you in a little bonus. Just got off the phone with Randy. Car's gonna get picked up tomorrow at 2 o'clock. It's coming here on Saturday morning, around 11, a little before 11 maybe. And we are doing final assembly right here. We're gonna put the Comet in the yard, put it outside, and final assemble the Mustang right here at the house. So that means I just was doing a couple odds and ends, but that means that I have to get all this crap cleaned up by, like at least Friday night. And need to get this garage completely organized, cleaned up, so that I'm not pulling his mess in on top of my mess, and everything's put up, and I'm gonna try to balance the trailer. So plans work on a race trailer maybe Friday, work on a race trailer Sunday, final assemble Randy's Mustang on Saturday. So that's plans for now. Stay tuned. I'll catch you on the next one.